The Galactic Union had long dismissed humans as a minor threat, relegated to the outer rim of civilized space, a species barely worth a second glance. But all of that changed when the humans, against all odds, survived their first encounter with a Union fleet. They weren't supposed to stand a chance. Their ships were primitive, their weapons laughable compared to the cutting-edge technology the Union possessed. Yet they fought with a terrifying ferocity that stunned their opponents. Reports trickled in of human ships performing suicide runs, of soldiers holding impossible defensive lines, of commanders willing to sacrifice everything to protect their own. It wasn't long before the stories became legend. Union officers began to fear the humans as if they were mythical monsters, never giving up, never surrendering. For every inch the Union gained, humans retaliated tenfold. As the war dragged on, it became apparent that the Union had severely underestimated their tenacity. The human spirit was something alien in itself, a drive to survive at all costs, to push beyond limitations, to use every resource, no matter how scarce. The humans began to reverse engineer captured Union technology. What took other species generations to comprehend, humans assimilated in mere years. Their ships, once considered primitive, began to rival the best the Union had to offer. Their military strategies evolved with dizzying speed, adapting to every new Union tactic thrown at them. Worse still, humans had a knack for exploiting weaknesses, finding vulnerabilities even in the most sophisticated systems. They used guerrilla tactics, cyber warfare, and psychological operations, all of which baffled the Union leadership, which had become complacent after centuries of uncontested dominance. Still, the Union remained confident. They had the numbers, they had the firepower, and they believed that eventually they would wear the humans down. However, this assumption was shattered when the humans launched a massive counteroffensive. Entire Union fleets were ambushed and destroyed. Strategic strongholds, once thought invincible, fell to human forces. Rumors spread that the humans had developed a new weapon, one capable of disrupting the Union's advanced shields. Panic began to set in. For the first time in millennia, the Galactic Union faced the possibility of losing a war. Then, the humans did something even more shocking. They requested a meeting. Not a surrender, but a negotiation. The Union leaders were stunned. They had expected the humans to fight until the last man, woman, or child, not to propose peace. It was an unprecedented moment in galactic history. The humans, who had earned a reputation as relentless warriors, were asking for a diplomatic solution. This proposal was seen as an insult by many in the Union, who believed that humans, after coming so close to victory, should have sought to conquer the Union entirely. Yet behind the scenes, Union leaders feared the alternative. If the war continued, there was a very real chance that humanity might come out on top. Their proposal was simple peace, in exchange for recognition as an equal power in the galaxy. When the negotiations began, Union diplomats were unsure of what to expect. The humans sent a single representative, a military officer decorated with scars from battles both physical and psychological. The Union, on the other hand, sent a delegation of bureaucrats, scholars, and generals, expecting to overwhelm the human with their collective intellect and experience. However, the human officer exuded a calm confidence that unnerved the Union delegation. It was as if they knew something the Union didn't. As the talks progressed, the Union negotiators found themselves increasingly on the defensive. The human representative spoke with precision, outlining their demands clearly and firmly. They didn't ask for reparations or territorial concessions, only the right to exist and thrive without interference. Their willingness to negotiate rather than seek retribution disarmed the Union leaders. Despite their initial disdain, some Union diplomats began to admire the humans' pragmatism. Here was a species that had faced extinction and had not only survived but thrived, and now, at the height of their power, they were willing to negotiate for peace rather than continue a war that would undoubtedly cost countless lives on both sides. But beneath the surface, there was a lingering question. Why did the humans want peace now? They had the upper hand. The Union was weakened, vulnerable. If the humans pressed their advantage, they could likely force the Union to capitulate entirely. Yet here they were proposing an armistice. The answer, when it came, shook the Union delegation to its core. The human officer leaned forward, his voice low and steady, and explained that humans had developed not one, but several doomsday weapons. Weapons that could wipe out entire planets, disrupt stars, and even collapse wormhole gateways, severing whole sectors from the rest of the galaxy. They had the power to destroy the Union utterly, but they had chosen not to use it. "We don't want to rule the galaxy," the officer said. "We just want to live in it." The revelation sent shockwaves through the Union delegation. For centuries, the Union had prided itself on being the most advanced civilization in the galaxy, the ultimate power. Now, they faced a species that could destroy them but had chosen diplomacy instead. It was an offer they couldn't refuse. The Union had no desire to see its worlds reduced to ash, nor to fight an enemy that had proven itself so unpredictable, so resourceful. Reluctantly, they agreed to the terms. The peace agreement was signed in the neutral zone, a quiet, uneventful affair. To the rest of the galaxy, it was announced as a diplomatic victory for both sides. The humans were recognized as a sovereign power, granted seats on the Galactic Council, and given access to the same resources and trade networks as any other member species. But those who had been in the room during the negotiations knew the truth. The Union had not won the peace. It had been spared annihilation by the mercy of humans. In the years that followed, humanity's influence spread throughout the galaxy. They became known as skilled diplomats, traders, and explorers. But the legend of their warriors, of their unmatched tenacity and ruthlessness in battle, persisted. Whenever tensions rose between the Union and humanity, there were always whispers of the doomsday weapons, of the power humanity held but never used. And while the peace held, there was an unspoken understanding between the two powers. Humanity had proven that they were not to be underestimated, that they were more than just warriors. They were survivors, and in the end, they had not needed to conquer the galaxy to earn its respect. They had negotiated for it, and in doing so, had secured their place among the stars.